recording.
Okay.
Okay, so it's recording now, and then I'm going to. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Krista with KristaDoesNumbers. I am CPA certified in the state of California. Though I am a CPA, I'm not your CPA. So any information that questions you may have, you can always email me or talk to your personal professional advisor. Okay. So today I have Nick Hammond here from Pacific Coast Spirits. He's located in Oceanside, San Diego, California. And he is a local brewing company. And we're going to discuss how his operations have obviously been very affected by this whole pandemic situation, but how he's enduring it and also helping out the community. So, Nick, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I don't want to forget my special co-host over here, Brett Davis. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
He's sulking now because I forgot about him. I didn't forget, but I did. Okay. So anyways, so Nick, so you mentioned that you've been doing this brewing stuff for a little over 4 years. Is that?
Yeah, correct? So we've been distilling now. So we're a distillery, a craft distillery, okay. A Type 74. So what we make here is vodka, gin, agave, single malts, bourbons. That's okay. Yeah, it's new for a lot of consumers. I think consumers are really used to the brewing and making beer, and so, but we make, what we like to joke about is what beer is when it grows up, whiskey. So
there you go. Right, so true.
Right, yeah. But no,
Nick, I have a quick question.
Very much the same.
Real quick question. So of course, shelf life on alcohol, is it longer than keg beer?
Absolutely.
What about can beer?
Yeah, well, all the beer, anything that's low ABV, anything under 25% alcohol has a shelf life. It's susceptible to growths and and going stale essentially, or bacteria, wine, etc. So, that's why it needs to be stored either in cool environments, if it's open to corkage, for wines, but beers as well. It's the freshness, right? Everyone has the born on date. When that beer is good, and you want to drink it as fresh as possible. That's any connoisseur that wants the fresh beer. So unless it's made to be aged, which there are beers for that as well. But our products, are high proof. We barrel age them at 57% alcohol. That's 114 proof.
Wow.
That's high. Nothing's growing at that octane. And it sits in a barrel for 3 to 4 years before it goes into a bottle. And we've been, like you said, we've been at it for now around 4 years or so. And so we've been at it for about 4.5 years now, putting down product. And like you said, it doesn't go bad. Kegs do go bad, and that's a challenge right now in this environment. Is that breweries are having their kegs go bad. They're not able to sell them to on-premise markets right now. They're not able to serve them into off the tap, and so they've got them sitting in refrigerators, and they're either going to have to dump them or and that's kind of their only option right now, is dumping them. So that's where we're at, is we see a need now is to take, this beer that's been in kegs, that's going to go bad. And we can take that beer and turn that into a high proof alcohol at 95% alcohol. Essentially, it's what we do. That's how we make vodka. We take a beer wash, and we distill that through our stills to 95% alcohol. And then we proof that down usually to about 40% alcohol. And that's what goes into our bottles of vodka. Again, shelf stable at 40%, but for hand sanitizer, we have to proof down to about 80%.
Right.
So that's what we're making now. And that's, we're trying to put together a model that's going to help all of our, local craft breweries to move some of this beer that would normally be destroyed, and try to, help cover some of their costs, keep them above board because they're having a tough time. We're having a tough time because we can't, have our restaurant and bar open and tasting room. And so we're trying to take what they would normally put down the drain and turn that into hand sanitizer as well.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, we're
hand
trying to
sanitizer.
be as creative as possible.
So true. But even though obviously you can't have necessarily the restaurants open, you're still doing takeout. So talk a little bit about that.
So our restaurant is still open. We still have our chefs here working on a daily basis.
Well, I mean, like the seating area of the restaurant is closed down. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, our seating area is actually
right.
a bottling line for sanitizer right now. It's right down the middle of the restaurant. So we've had to, morph our space to the times. But we do offer all of our curbside food. That's been amazing. We've had, local, our local community has really been out there to help us and help us keep a roof over our head. So we have options in food as well. A little California comfort kind of is what we kind of call it. So we've got some fried chicken and cornbread waffles. We've got a nice Louisiana style hot, fried chicken sandwich. We do a burger. We've got some vegan options. We're doing like a nice cauliflower falafel on a bed of hummus and some roasted cauliflower. So we have some really cool plates. We were really having fun as a gastro pub kind of distillery model. And so we're trying to make that available now, to go.
Awesome. So the hand sanitizer that you're now making, people can come to the store and get it, but they can also get it online. That's correct?
Yeah, so you can come to our curbside here in Oceanside, and we sell it right out the front door. We also have our online ordering system. So if you go to our website at packcoastspirits.com, you can go to online orders and then order any of our food, spirits, cocktails to go, and hand sanitizer, and purchase that there and pick it up. Yeah,
and you are limiting the amount that they can get because.
Yeah, the only ones we're limiting are the spray bottles. That's exactly it. Yeah, okay. It's just about getting this in the hands of everyone that needs it. We have 2-ounce spray bottles, 4-ounce spray bottles. We're trying to limit that to 2. We don't want people just buying 10 of them. We have refill bottles that they can refill those with. It's just a matter of getting everyone we can to be safe. So
perfect. And you also have your merch that's available for sale, so people can.
We do,
advertise how, the great things you're doing. Like, do you have any hats that say hand sanitizer on, like Pacific Coast?
No.
That's cool.
No, and we're not sure how long this will last.
How long? I know.
Either,
I know, so true. But
like you mentioned, our label's on the hand sanitizer label. So
right. Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. And I think it's great that you, like you mentioned, you're partnering with the breweries to help them out rather than the beer going bad, to take that and turn it into the hand sanitizer. So that's really awesome. Tell us a little bit
the
about,
whole purpose for this is. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say our whole purpose is really just trying to drill down our costs. We're not a big company like Purell and these guys, and then we're not tooled for this on a grand scale. We make craft spirits, which so. We're trying to drill down the cost. We're trying to get more efficient. It's sourcing issues with bottles. It's, all of it's there. And, unfortunately we can't compete at those prices. But we're trying to do is fill the void of what's out there. And again, partnering with breweries are going to help us drill that down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think it's great that that you basically have come up with creative, solutions so you can still, have an income and provide for, you as with the restaurant and of course the employees as well. So they don't, I just think that that's really
Absolutely
awesome that you're willing to do that. Because I know some places just aren't, they just closed and they're just closed,
Well, and that's what we had to do from day one was we had a mandated closure, and we were like, how do we get creative? We had to let most, all of our staff go. And now we're getting into the, now that we're getting our feet under us again, it's figuring this out. It's like, okay, now how do we get our staff back?
Right.
So what we're doing is going to help, the launch of the CARE Act and this payroll, protection will help a little bit as well. And we're just trying to, figure a way to get everyone back into the norm, and be able to pay their bills.
Like the new norm, right? And hopefully, hopefully obviously this doesn't last forever, but I don't know. There's definitely going to be some shifts in some certain things, I would imagine. I can't imagine us going straight back to exactly how we were.
Right.
But, So yeah, and then you also do cocktails to go as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, one thing we had here at the distillery is we have draft cocktails. So basically it's our R&D program to our cocktails going into a can.
Right.
So we can a handful of our cocktails. We've got 7 different cocktails that we can or we're actually doing on draft. And then we'll, hopefully after all of this is over, we'll have those in cans going out, into off premise as well. So that's definitely one of our plans.
Right.
But yeah, so we've got our gin and tonic that we make. We make the gin obviously, and then we actually make the tonic as well. So we do our whiskey gingers where we do all of our fresh ginger juicing. So everything's like, it's real spicy ginger. It's real nice. But everything we use is fresh ingredients. It's a lot of fun.
Actually,
Yeah.
I just was remembering is, can you pan over to your little hand sanitizer? Like this is like, just
So
kind of show everybody what it looks like.
I can show you here. These are just totes that we brought in because, all just high proof. So we brought in, totes there. I can give you a little, kind of show you the distillery space if you want as well.
Yeah, that would be great.
So here's all of our stills.
Okay.
So
yeah.
this is where we're running all of our high proof is on these columns here. So we run these columns.
Okay.
Everything goes into the pot, comes out as high proof on this end.
Okay.
And then there's our restaurant that's now a bottling line.
It's not a bottle, yes. Boxes and bottles everywhere.
Yeah, bottles everywhere, labels everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of a new. It's strange to come in and not see a bunch of people enjoying the space. Like what was with a restaurant. But,
yeah, and that that's part of it too. Having a restaurant is like
Mm-hmm.
part of it is bringing people in and just enjoying that sort of atmosphere and just in that sort of sense
Yeah.
of just people enjoying it, and watching them enjoy themselves. What they're eating
Exactly.
and drinking, and that's kind of hard. I can imagine.
Well, and that's what we built the space for.
Right. Exactly.
It's exactly that.
Yeah. So it's, that I'm sure is disheartening.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah, I will allow you to ask those couple questions.
I was going to ask, is it okay if I don't, you're the boss. I mean, I want to make sure everything's okay,
Sure.
So Nicholas, what did you do in your previous life before this?
So before this, mechanical engineer, worked in biomed for a while, device design, ICDs and stuff. So yeah, and then spent a lot of time in the beverage world making wine, kind of trying to transition to this has always been a passion of mine. So, there's not necessarily schools out there for distilling. So it was a matter of being self-taught, traveling to regions that we could go that are distilling and learning from master distillers and blenders. And it's quite a long path over the last decade to kind of get to where we're at now to, be able to do what we're doing.
That's fascinating, your background. I think it's interesting to hear where people come from.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense with what you're doing. When did you realize you wanted to do this, and why did you decide to do this?
I've always wanted since college to be able to, make spirits. It just wasn't something that you could do in your garage legally. You could travel and you could taste what the big guys were making, but it's just like with beer. Just like with wine, when you do it on a small scale and you really put some passion into it, you really pay attention to the raw ingredients, you can make something really exceptional. And, I think some of the big guys, I think everyone's really used to what the big brands are making, but you can really elevate those products, by getting into heirloom varietals, getting into organic varietals, really exploring flavors within those ingredients. And so, I've always liked cooking as well, and I love food, and so I've always been a foodie. And so you just, when you do things in the small scale and you really explore ingredients, you can make really, really, really good products. So that's always been the challenge for me. And then getting out from behind a desk as an engineer was, always a challenge too. So it's like, I want to get my hands dirty. I was raised to, work hard and put your hands in there and roll up your sleeves and do what you do to survive. And that's kind of where we're at in these times too right now.
Right, yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that's probably why you were able to make this shift, and do this and be, find other solutions. So Nick, so your website, so people can go, it's Pat Coast Spirits, that's COASTSPIRITS.com. And
Yes,
where
ma'am.
is what's the address of your shop?
So
there,
we're at
your restaurant?
404 South Coast
Mhm.
Highway in Oceanside.
Okay, so it's 404 South Coast Highway in Oceanside. If you want to stop by and give give Nick a wave, of course, make sure it's 6 feet away,
Yeah.
or something.
Make sure you have your hand
Yeah,
sanitizer.
we've got our face
little,
masks on,
I
so
know,
you won't
right?
recognize me.
Exactly.
No.
Yes, everyone has
Yep.
face masks now. That's
Yep.
the norm at the moment. But Nick, I want to honor you for taking the time to be on, because I'm sure you're super busy with everything you're doing. Of course, being less manned and whatnot. But yeah, so just honor you for taking the time to be here, and I just want to honor you for, opening your restaurant up to provide such a kind of a necessity, a super high commodity to the community, and I really appreciate that, and thank you for being on today.
Well, we appreciate it as well. Having the light shed on what we're doing really helps us survive as well, and I really appreciate that. And there's a good community here within our brewers and distillers, and it really shows how we can come together. I think it's really awesome what we have down here in San Diego.
I know. It's kind of beautiful.
We're going to try to come by and place an order for some things and support you.
I appreciate that. We all do.
We'll talk amongst ourselves, and we'll make a list of whatever we want, whether it's the spicy chicken sandwich or the fried chicken or the burger, whatever it is, and then of course hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
we've
got the waffles as well. So I very much appreciate it.
Well, I know somebody is going to get the chicken and waffles already. So.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening in, and we will see you next time, or
thank
hear
you
next time or something.
Thanks,
Hold on.
Nicholas.
Don't go away.
Cheers.